Test, testing. Test. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is running back Timmons, also known as Phenom NT 316 to the gaming community. Thank you all for who decides to tune in. Very much appreciate it. Check out the linktree / NavecTV8. That's how you gain access to my content. This is my first live podcast of 2024. I wanted to sort of say, I ended up coming up with the idea at the end of last year. There is so much media and content and stuff that's shared on a daily basis that really isn't isn't a fundamental building block and stuff for people. Like there's a lot of media, a lot of propaganda, just overall things that doesn't really build us up as people. So I had the idea to suggest that because my boy had to end up telling me, and he's been telling me this since the summer of 2023, and he beats it into my head on a regular basis. We as people are supposed to build people up. We're supposed to promote and try to make people better as a whole and everything. If you're not trying to build people up, then what exactly are you doing? So, with that being said, I decided on a segment. I plan on doing segments focused on mental health, financial literacy, things and stuff necessarily that we're not really taught in school or taught, period. Like, we go through, at least in the United States, 5K kindergarten all the way up to the 12th grade, we aren't taught about financial literacy. We aren't taught about mental health. We're barely talked about. It's barely talked about as far as physical health and everything, the proper dietary. What's up, Isaiah? Thank you, brother, for tuning in. Very much appreciated. Thank you for stopping in and supporting 100%. And I thank you for your word and your message and stuff earlier. I honestly needed to hear that. I'm gonna be upfront. I'm kind of winging it and stuff right now. I'm just gonna go with the flow with everything. I'm giving basically my introduction and stuff. The reason why I decided to go this route and start a podcast is because I want to educate people on some things and stuff that we necessarily wasn't educated about in our youth and barely in our adulthood as well. I didn't know, for example, financial literacy and managing and budgeting money and stuff until I was basically like when I started at the dealership in what 2017. That is when I learned how to properly manage my money, manage my bills, my finances, not worrying about trying to keep up with the Joneses and things of that nature, and just being overall successful with making my money and stuff make me more money where I was able to still live as well as save money and enjoy life and stuff at the same time. Like people don't understand the importance of saving and having your money bring you back in return. Because only having one income is too close to having no income. And that's one of the things and stuff that I've been studying since I've been in our automotive industry is, hey, I've got this job here that's making me money and everything, but how can I expand upon that? And then I ended up learning a bit. I got the opportunity to purchase a multi-family home, and I took that opportunity, and now that multi-family home, so to say, it basically pays my mortgage. So I'm able to live basically mortgage free based upon taking that investment of purchasing a multi-family home. These are things and stuff that people don't necessarily teach you and everything. The more sources of income that you have, the more financial freedom that you have in life and everything. You're not dependent. And that's one of my, I would say honestly, financial freedom is my 10 to 15-year goal. I want to have myself set up to where honestly, if I wanted to retire at the age of 50, I am able to. But moving on and stuff from that, let's touch bases. Mental health and everything. I think it's a concept that really in truth isn't talked about a lot in the community, especially in our culture and various other cultures and stuff as well. Mental health really isn't discussed. Coming from somebody from a background, I don't know if too many people and stuff notice about me. I'm bipolar. I also have an acute personality disorder. I can admit it in every day. My mood swings are extremely heavy. I've suffered from depression. Suffered from anxiety. I've struggled with alcoholism heavily to the point and everything where literally I would basically wake up and go to sleep with a drink. That's a form of mental health. That's what we call self-medicating, and it's also self-medicating. I look at that as an escape, and I think a lot of people end up doing it. We don't necessarily know 100% the reasons why, and those are things and stuff that I would like to discuss during these podcasts and everything. Getting different views, getting different sites, um, how people manage with their internal demons, their internal conflicts, and everything. Because yeah, we all need support in some degree. I ended up hitting a very difficult place summer of last year, 100%, and I can end up owning that 100%. And it ended up changing my perspective on a lot of things. I started back getting into physical health, getting back into physical shape because being upfront with you, I was physically messed up. I was mentally and emotionally and stuff messed up and stuff as well. And I can 100% own that now. Back then, I can't say that I had the strength. Thank you for letting me know that. Let me do an adjustment. All right. I'll contemplate whether or not. Are you able to hear me clearer now? Let me move up to the mic. So I think I made the decision more or less towards the end of the summer and everything to begin focusing on physical health. I began working back out consistently, mental health, reading material and stuff that would actually expand my mind, expand my consciousness and stuff. I started researching and searching into a lot of different books. One of the books and stuff that I ended up picking up was The Art of Self Awareness, which I do plan on reading within probably my next session and everything. I'm going to start reading The Art of Self Awareness because it was an eye opener. It ended up helping me to see a lot of my blind spots and where I end up falling into the spectrum on a lot of things. And to be upfront with you, if you've ever suffered from trauma, anything that ended up heavily impacting, then it also ends up putting a emotional block in everything. so to say how I look at it and everything, a lot of us are walking around out here not fully emotionally developed. We don't necessarily know how to cope or to deal with certain emotions. And I think that's where a lot of the self medication and a lot of other things and stuff end up coming in in our lives. And I just want to be able to discuss that and stuff with the folks, discuss it with the people and everything. And let's come up with different solutions and different outlets instead of doing harmful or destructive things, giving those harmful or destructive behaviors. What's your thoughts and what's your feedback and stuff on that for those who are tuning in? How do you feel about those conversations and those discussions? Are you still able to hear the audio and stuff clearly? Let me do an adjustment. Are you able to hear me clearly now? I'm going to end up moving the microphone. The next session, if it's still the audio still choppy and everything, I'm going to end up switching from the microphone and stuff to the headset. But basically, I was asking and everything, how do people feel and stuff regarding speaking about mental health, addictions, things of that nature? And are people comfortable and stuff discussing those type of topics and everything? Because I'm gonna during these podcasts, these sessions and everything, I'm gonna make myself vulnerable and everything, and I'm gonna truly end up exposing myself to things and stuff that I've done, things that I've been through and everything. And I hope that me being comfortable discussing those things will make other people comfortable discussing those things and stuff as well. That way we can all work towards healing and becoming better as people. Like the primary focus of the podcast is to basically educate each other. That's how I look at it. We all educate each other. Like Pastor says, iron sharpens iron. I agree, 100%. I ended up finding it a lot easier to talk to strangers and stuff about my demons, about the things and stuff that I've done in the past, the things and stuff that I think about and everything. For the simple fact, I felt as though if I ended up going to people and stuff that I know on a regular basis and stuff, that I was going to end up being judged and looked at differently and stuff due to my actions or due to the things and stuff, my thoughts and stuff that I ended up having and everything. Now, as we roll into 2024, I noticed that I care a lot less about being judged or looked at differently. And if I'm being honest, that was one of the main issues that I had in my youth and coming up as a person and everything. I wasn't honest with myself about a lot of things, and that ended up causing a lot of issues and a lot of conflicts. And overall, a lot of bad decisions that really in truth could have ended up being resolved had I acknowledged my shortcomings and the things and stuff that I struggled with daily. Well, once again, I'm gonna end up doing a quick recap. The reason behind the podcast and everything is because being upfront, I want to put content and put media out there that's going to be beneficial to us as a whole. I want to discuss mental health. I want to discuss financial literacy, read a couple of books and stuff with you guys and everything, share that information, that content and everything to educate people and to help build each other up. Isel, you are 100% correct. And I don't know whether or not it's just me or not. Like, I feel as though this nation is trying to have us dumbed down and not educated and everything. Like, on paper, we're free, but we're not really free if you look at it. From the time that we basically hit adulthood to almost until we're almost on our deathbeds and stuff, we have to work in order to survive and everything. And literally, I was just having this discussion with a couple of co-workers and everything. From the time you're 18 to the time you're 62 or 65 years old, because the retirement age just keeps getting pushed back every so often. You have to work to provide in order to survive and everything. How much are you able to actually live and enjoy life during that time frame? But a lot of people don't have the financial literacy to know what to invest in to make money, to know how to save money, to have money that makes them money, things of that nature and stuff. So the reality is we're still basically in chains because the majority of our lives, hey, we giving it to an employer. How's it going, Roger? Thank you for tuning in, brother. Much appreciated. You know you did and everything. You should typically end up stopping in during my streams. Very much appreciated and everything. You show up during my gaming content. Thank you for supporting this session. Timmons at the desktop and everything. It's going to be different from my gaming content. I'm going to be a little bit more serious, talking on real life discussions and everything. Once again, mental health, financial literacy, things to invest in, uh, self-medicating, etc. There's going to be some deep conversations, and you guys going to find out things about me that y'all probably didn't know. But I'm going to be open. If you guys got any type of questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm going to be 100% upfront and brutally honest. All right. In the year 2024, I would say at the end of 2023, I ended up making a decision and everything, and I'm going to end up standing on this. Moving forward, I'm going to focus on physical health, mental health, emotional, spiritual, and financial. I want to grow in all of those areas. And I think that we as people and stuff, that's what we should end up striving this stuff to do. Um, in life, my man's Hector and everything, he's more or less like my mentor and stuff now because he took me under his wing during the summer and like he really ended up putting me on and everything and like helping me and showing me how to move as a man and everything, how I'm supposed to carry myself, how I'm supposed to present myself and everything. Because although I was being financially and stuff responsible and stuff, there was a lot of ways and stuff that I was still immature and I didn't conduct myself and stuff the right way. And he ended up checking me on that. And he told me, he was like, yo, the fact our reason behind living is to bless people, to make other people and stuff better. It was like, if you bless one person, your life has meaning. I, from that moment, I was like, you know what? You're right. If we all end up trying to help each other and just put each other on the right path, the world would be so much of a better place. But it's like everybody is focused on self right now. And it's crazy because if we all work to put each other on, then we all are going to be on. There's no if, and buts about it. Well, while it's quiet, I'm actually going to end up opening the book on the art of self awareness. This is the title and stuff that I was sitting there. A lot of my information that I ended up sharing over the summer ended up coming from this book here, The Art of Self Awareness. And it touches on basically seeing and finding your blind spots. And this is by Patrick King. How to dig deep, introspect, discover your blind spots, and truly know thyself. I'm going to end up skipping the introduction. Chapter one, the three levels of self awareness. That is where I'm going to end up starting at. Chapter one, the three levels of self awareness. First things first, self awareness isn't like a single moment of enlightenment or an on or off switch. It's a matter of degree or type, as we saw above. Where we can be self aware at sometimes, less so at others. We can define self awareness as a conscious perception of thoughts, feelings, events, and behaviors, both internal and external, that is accurately grounded in reality. The opposite of that is anytime we're unconscious, i.e., acting out of habit, impulse, or autopilot, or not thinking about how we're thinking. When driven by unconscious impulse and biases, we cannot recognize patterns in our world, and hence we can't take proactive steps to change anything. So many other positive characteristics and traits are impossible without the bedrock of self awareness. And yet, there is little out there that teaches us how to build it within ourselves. And why would we when most of us think we are self aware already? With self awareness comes self esteem, sound decision making, creativity, self control, and emotional regulation. The ability to develop and evolve, humility and awareness of weakness, pride, empathy, communication, and cooperation. However, reading the book list, you can probably see that it's all shades of gray. To simplify, we can imagine that there are three levels of self awareness. We can operate from them. Level one, what are you doing? Pain, confusion, suffering, stress, irritation, misunderstanding, struggle, etc. Life is this is like at low levels of self-awareness. If you're unhappy with work, relationships, money, or life, you probably have some self-awareness blind spots. In this mind space, we are unhappy yet unaware of the reasons why, unaware of our role in the problem, and the obvious and oblivious about what we can do to fix it. Signs you're in this level include any behavior that transports you out of the present moment. Could include numbing yourself out with distractions and additions, such as gambling, gaming, mindless social media use, substance abuse, or binging. Whether on food or media, we avoid obligations and feel so anxious, angry, or apathetic that we procrastinate. Worse still, we aren't even aware that we're doing all this. For example, you have an awkward discussion with a family member and find yourself overeating that evening and feeling too lazy to do any chores. Then you go to bed late after an hour of gaming, binge, and wake up the next morning with a sour mood and a sore head, but you don't understand why any of this happened. You are unaware of how you feel after the conversation. You are unaware that binging and gaming were your coping mechanisms, and you're unaware that the reason you feel so bad the next morning is because of these choices. So you have a vague, dull sense of how life sucks, and you march onwards, oblivious and unable to help yourself. How could you when you're unaware of the nature of the existence of the problem? Distraction is destruction. I'm going to say that again. Distraction is destructive, but infinitely more destructive is any compulsive behavior that we are not aware of. Without awareness, we are slaves at the mercy of, well, everything. We forfeit our free will. Don't try to vanquish distraction. The harder and more pressing task is just learn you are distracted. How often have you fallen down an internet rabbit hole when you don't even remember what brought you to your phone or laptop in the first place? This is the frustrating paradox of self awareness. We think we are so much better at than we are. To prove this point, try a simple exercise. Simply become aware of how much time you're spending on distractions. Changing behavior comes later. First, you want to learn of the extent of addictive compulsive behavior. Many people deliberately waste time or indulge in a little distraction, but they do it with full conscious awareness. Different story. Likewise, if you're completely mindless during meditation sessions, it's useless as if you were gaming or stuffing your face or losing hours on a Netflix binge. The behavior is only a symptom. The real issue is awareness. If you are at level one, most of us are at some point, then try to objectively track and monitor your distraction behaviors for a fixed period, such as a week. You can use an app to track your social media or gaming use, or you can commit to jotting down precisely what you eat and when every day. At this point, you are not judging these observations. You are just becoming curious and about what is happening and to what extent. Level two, what are you feeling? When you become aware of and gradually start to remove distractions, you will be confronted with all the emotions those distractions covered up. When you've been avoiding what you've been avoiding will come rushing out in full force. If you're the kind to get freaked out by silence or having nothing to do, this will likely be why. When we have unprocessed, unacknowledged emotions, i.e., emotions we're not fully aware of, it hurts. We would do anything to patch over them with more lovely, safe distractions. The second level of self awareness comes from understanding not just what we are doing, but why we are doing it and how it feels. You're stressed and angry and need to comfort or something sweet. When you are in touch with what you actually genuinely feel and are no longer distracted and numbed out by the carousel of everyday distractions, you start to have original thoughts and become aware of feelings you never even knew you had. I agree with that 100%, Roderick. And Brother Robert, thank you for tuning in, brother. Very much appreciated. But you know something, Rod, I agree with that. And I don't, I want to end up separating myself and stuff from the pack and everything. I don't want to be in this stage where I'm just going along with emotions and everything and following what everybody else is doing and everything. I look at that as being a puppet or a zombie, so to say, and everything. All of it, just moving with emotions, so to say, and everything. We as people are all supposed to be unique and stand out. And yeah, we're supposed to be unique and stand out and stuff as people. And nowadays, it seems like we moving backwards as a society in a lot of degrees. And I feel as though, at least I can say this about this nation and everything, they want to dumb us down and everything and have us to a degree where we like just mindless people just following along with the narrative of what happens up and out. And that's not supposed to be the case and everything. We're supposed to think we all have a mind and a consciousness and everything to think and to see through things. It's just that people don't try to expand upon that and utilize it necessarily as the way that they're supposed to. Well, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I will be going back live on January 20th. January 20th, I'm going to be on focused on being upfront with you guys. I'm going to end up bringing a different bit of content and everything. It's going to be more or less gaming discussion and everything. Like I said and stuff earlier, I plan on focusing on two different sources of content and everything with the podcast. The primary focus is definitely going to be what the things and stuff that we ended up discussing tonight on the side and everything once a month. We're going to talk about the gaming content. My page, being on NT316, that's where you can see my gaming content, my clips and stuff, the games and stuff that I stream, things of that nature. So on the 20th, that's going to be the content stuff that I focus on. It's going to be gaming because we got a lot of hot titles and stuff that's going to be released in this month in between now and spring. But I just want to say, Isaiah, Roger, Robert, thank you three for tuning in and everything, dropping comments and supporting me. Very much appreciated. Thank you. I'll catch up with you guys later, all right? Y'all have a good night.